Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. I'm your host, Dr. G, and I'm glad that you tuned in tonight. Really? As usual, I have an exciting show for you. Oh, shit. Tonight's guest, that's me, is Tuere Cheka. He has 25 years experience as an astrologer and practicing remote viewing while serving in military intelligence. He has studied comparative religions, psychic research, and psychology. He is a liberal arts major who studied with some of the world's most recognized astrologers and is an initiate of Ascended Master Sant Darshan Singh. For 3 years, he broadcast live and gave mystic astrology readings on Washington, D.C.'s WPFW FM station. He has provided life-changing readings for celebrities as well as individuals alike. Tuere has expanded his online presence with Insight Light with Tuere Cheka on YouTube, which launched in June 2020. Tuere has endeared himself to his local community through teaching astrology from the spiritual heart to inner city, middle, and high school students. He currently teaches private and group astrology and spiritual development classes via webinars and Zoom meetings. He is also a prolific poet and African drummer, two skills which he combines during mystic prophetic poetry performances. Tuere Cheka managed to do all that he does while serving as a loving caregiver to his father. Please help me welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G, my friend and brother, Tuere Cheka.
Yeah, that's me.
How you doing?
Blessings.
I have to listen to my music. I was trying to kind of drag it out a little bit, but this is where we get the groove a little bit. Come on, you rock with me. Come on. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome to the show. It has been a while. Brother Tuere. We go back, and I was trying to recollect when we first met. I know the circumstances under which we met, and that was under another my gosh, I am having a brain lapse. Dr. She gonna kill me.
Dorita Dixon.
Dr. Dorita Dixon. I'm sorry, sis. I love you. Because we're supposed to do some stuff together. Dr. Dorita Dixon, who was coming to the more science meetings that we had begun in 2011. And somewhere along the line there, I remember her coming. She came back to do a presentation. I believe that was that. And you came with her. You were a part of, at the time, working with her, if I'm not mistaken.
It's true. I did come with her there to Wilmington, to your beautiful Reawakening Minds headquarters.
Thank you so much. Well, we actually have become, I want to say, I want to turn this down just a smidgen. You might hear this, but we actually have, we've undergone probably a lot of renovations since you were there in 2011. It has taken on, I believe when you all came, we still had the, we had the whole background with the Egyptian background was still on the wall, right? So that artist Naomi Hannah had drawn. I mean, the whole wall was, and some people probably will recognize or remember that when they saw some of the earlier videos with Grand Sheikh Tariq Bey, there was this Egyptian whole motif. And some
Yes.
folks didn't know that that was House of Reawakening Minds even back then. And we've gone through several iterations. The walls has changed, the colors and so forth. And now we're right now in the midst of another renovation. But I'm excited to have you on because we go back in 2017. I had Brother Yusuf L on last week, and in 2017, in 2015, Brother Yusuf gave me my start on High Frequency Radio Network, and I was doing Blog Talk Radio.
Right.
I was doing Reawakening Minds, and I had it was mainly metaphysical. Everyone I had on, like yourself, and I even had Brother Hassan, and I had people like Barbara Simmons and other folks, mystics and
LaFay, astrologer,
LaFay Ferrer and others. So I was
Yes.
basically mainly just doing metaphysical and astrological. So I was grooving and moving in my element, which is where the mystic element is where I'm most comfortable. And like I said it to the audience last week when I was doing the show, the fact that I accept my, claim my Moorish American heritage nationality is the basis of who I am on the base level, but it's not all that I am. And so when you start to get into unraveling who a different person, certain person is, you find out that we're multifaceted. But you and I but you, when I was just getting started, agreed to come on my show, and you were such a hit because you were able to give people an insight. And it's interesting that your network is called Insight Light, and you provided a lot of insight. We had callers that would call in from all over not all over the world, because they weren't even just from the U.S. And we've had, and you told me about one couple who flew all the way from what we call Khalifa territory or California to DC after they'd heard you on my show.
That's right.
And they came in for a personal reading. They flew all the way, and I think that's a testament to what you offer and what you provide. But back then, when I couldn't, if I was at loss with who was going to be on my show, I knew most of the time that I could count on you. Brother Tuere would come on, and people would love to hear, they wanted to know about themselves. They wanted to know, what somebody could tell them, who they were and what was their particular proclivities and so forth. Like, how you know that? And those are the things that, and we'll get into this, that astrology and even numerology and things like that will be able to reveal to people. But dogmatic religions have given a bad reputation to the metaphysical aspect of our lives, when in fact, and you can probably give me more background on what I'm trying to say. In fact, initially, this was the way our people were guided. Correct me if I'm wrong. We were led by this. There's a saying that says, "Wise men follow the stars."
That's right. And
so we will read the story of the wise men who followed the star that led them to the Star of Bethlehem, that led them to the Christ child or the Savior. And we go, oh, that was such a wonderful story, but we don't realize that was astrological.
That's right.
That was astrology. That was charting and so forth. Not so much, and it was more of we take things in the literal, but a lot of these things are kind of patterns, if you will, for us to understand or understand the workings of reality that are outside of what the constructs of what men, which we call dogma, have created to constrain us.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll piggyback on that. I like that. You said wise men follow the stars.
Right.
I would add to that and say wise men follow divine love, and divine love follows the natural processes of nature and becomes one with nature. And becoming one with nature causes you to look up to the more expanded nature of the stars, and then the language of the heavens guide you into the deeper insights.
Absolutely. And so your background is very interesting. I mean, did you start out were you always a person in your youth or someone that had a proclivity towards studying the stars? I mean, did you come up in Christianity or any other kind of religion? What is your background, prior to you really getting into what you've been doing now for the last 25 plus years?
Yes. When I was a child in Florida and that full moon would hit, I would be in the bed at the window meditating, gazing into the full moon, a hypnotic spell. It had me. And it was like, it was something about the feeling that came across meditating on the moon, looking at that moon. So I think that was my first connection with looking up, because these wise women and men who study the stars, they not just, they meditate on the stars. They were like stuck. That's why you see all those pictures of spiritual people looking up, like, and holding their head up for long periods of time. It's like it's an entrancement, keeping your head to the stars, as Earth, Wind, and Fire said. But one of the things, as I was a child, around 6 years old, Dr. Gilliam, I had a girlfriend who lived across the street from me. Her name was Cassandra, and I experienced this divine love at that age. And we would sit in the grass, and I remember that feeling. We would rise up out of our bodies together, and we'd be like up over our bodies, hovering. And that was a mystical experience to me. And it was through, once again, the love that we felt for each other. So those were my early experiences. And then I got the crucible. My mom comes to me and says, "Your little girlfriend Cassandra is no longer with us. She got hit by a car on the way home from school." And before I could digest that, a few months later, my mom died. The two closest people to me. But it's not a sad story, y'all. It's a part of the destiny for my mission. And death is a beautiful thing to me. Once you get a deeper understanding of it. But so that kind of like, I could see that as being a connection and a draw to the stars, a draw to the invisible, mystic, metaphysical world at that age, Doc.
Wow. And so let's go back to death, because I don't know who said it. It was recently. There's a group, a husband and wife. They're Europeans, but the husband had a near-death experience, and as a result of the near-death experience, they weren't married at the time, and the son, the daughter. Let me get the story right. The woman's daughter worked for this man. He was a contractor, and he was like real, demanding and so forth. She just started working with him. Apparently, got in a really bad car accident. And as a result of the car accident, I think he went to deep depression and so forth. Apparently, he attempted to commit suicide and took an overdose of pills. And they got this, the daughter that worked for him and her mother got a psychic message that this guy was in trouble. They went to his home and found him unconscious. And he was unconscious. The woman, the mother, they weren't connected at all, except the daughter worked for him. She started administering CPR. They're waiting for the EMTs and so forth to come. And he's having an he's having an NDE, a near-death experience, and she's getting connected to him somehow. So whatever's going on with him in his near-death experience, he tells them that they ask him, "Do you want to come back?" He wants to come back, but he doesn't want to come back by himself. He wants to come back. He wants this group who's been teaching him during this. He was out for like, I forgot how long, but he wants them to come with him. They say, "We already got that covered." What they did is they came back through the woman who was his employee's mother, and she started channeling this group called Julius, and it was the same ones that were teaching him when he was out for like 8 hours, dead for like 8 hours. And so now they work together. And the one thing they were saying is that there's only two things that we fear, man. This is what the entity said: we fear death and we fear our greatness. We fear our own greatness and we fear death. And the fear of death has been instilled in us from a standpoint. When I look at it from being a former pastor, I feel like death, and if you don't pay your tithes, it's just, they said the only thing death assures death to taxes, when that's not true per se. But
Right.
those kinds of things have been instilled in the people because we have this one and done theology. If you don't get it right, you're gonna go to hell. You're gonna burn forever. And I can never reconcile. I'm a doctorate degree pastor, and I'm trying to figure out how does one go someplace and burn and never be consumed by a loving God, you know what I mean, who's forgiving, and at any moment you could be on the opposite side of what we are taught is right, but it just never set right with me. And so now I know death to be just a part of life. My mother has transitioned. My daughter transitioned at a very early age, at 7 weeks of age, and then began to leave signs that she was still around. You know what I mean? So, things started moving around in the house. I'd go out and I come back and the stuff would move. Her picture would move to different places. So, jars would move. It was just wild, but we're not talking about the psychic stuff today. But what I'm saying is I began later on, after this awakening that occurred in December of 2010, I've since been able to, I'm not going to tell you that I'm like 100%. I'm like, I don't fear death. I don't fear death. I'm just not sure what method I planned for myself to exit the body. And I'm like, Naila, did you pick something nice and easy, like in your sleep? or it's going to be something, I just wonder what I chose, because I realized that we choose, I was telling my brother the other day, I said, we choose 5 exit strategies. When we come in with 5 our 5 smooth stones are 5 ways we could potentially leave the body after we've incarnated on earth. And so normally people, the older we get, we can look back and see things, that times when you almost had a head-on collision, when that person almost pulled the trigger on you, when that house almost caught on fire or whatever. You see those almost. And so these, I always say, well, if you've seen 3, or if you've seen 4, the last one is going to come. You just won't know it till you get there, But that's the way I intuit these particular ways in which we are connected, if you will, beyond the veil. Because once the veil is thinning, they said the veil in the temple is rent or torn, and that temple is us. And the thing that has kept us between our what I consider our physical and our ethereal self mainly has been dogmatic teaching. Do you agree with that?
What has kept us in our captive thinking, yes, is dogmatic downloads that are based on the fear of death by clinging to the physical world, the false identity, and the limited ego, computer type of mind. So yes, but as one really sincerely heartening journeys on this spiritual path, they will begin to understand that life is a matter of changing and a changing of the matter. And what that means is that as the mystic and living Master Sant Darshan Singh taught me, he's ascended master now, that it's the little deaths that prepare you for the big death, see? And every day there's a releasing and letting go, which are deaths, psychological, emotional, and physical things and states that are blockages to our merging and sustaining unity with the source of creation. So yeah, we've been dumbed down into an initiation into a world that is based on fear and control and attachment to the external material side of life as the be all end all. In the movie The Little Buddha, the Tibetan monk looks around to the students and says, "You see all these people here in the marketplace? In 100 years, none of these people will be here. That's impermanence, you see." And this whole world is impermanent. It's a dewdrop it's just here for 100 years is like this. There's more meaning in life than just the material world. This is a school we checked into in the material plane for a few heavenly minutes to awaken and remember and fulfill a deeper mission and purpose. Yes.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I know, and you and I spoke about this when we were speaking last night. We were talking about the import. You were talking to me about the importance of meditation, and I know personally I have tried to meditate, but I'm one of those things. I call myself. I'm even made up a word for myself. It's called Thoughtarian, which is the name of my book that's coming out, The Thoughtarian. And so I'm always in my head, and I know there's probably people listening to that would love to be able to meditate and tune out the craziness that's going on around them. Can you speak to that? Because I know we're going to get to astrology. Matter of fact, while you're preparing to tell us about that, I want to make an announcement that Brother Tuere will be doing mini readings tonight. And what I need you to do is, if you would like to have a reading and you don't mind, because it's going to be public, I need you to put in the comment section your day, month, year of birth, along with the time and the place, meaning if you were born in Baltimore, Maryland, or if you were born in, Calcutta, India, put that in if you want a reading. And please, once he starts the reading, he actually can see some of the comments. I'm going to just try to take them first one in first. And then, he'll do as much as he can in a brief period of time, give you some insight into who you are. But what we hope what you will do is then eventually you probably will want to contact, they will contact you and actually get full readings. And you're also doing astrology classes. So if you'd like to have a mini reading, I need the day, month, year of birth, along with the time and place. And when we get to the readings, we hopefully will get your reading done with that.
Is that going in the chat box? They're putting that in the chat box?
Yeah, I want them to put that in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't want you to put down what your sign is. I want you to put down the date if you want a reading. Put the date, the month, the month, day, year, time, and place. Please. That's it. Thank you. Love you. Meditation. How one can quiet the okay, Sade Renee, you're first. I see you. How can one quiet their mind? There's a big business with mindfulness and all of this stuff now. People are getting into teaching people how to let stuff, you'll see where it says, if a thought comes in while you're meditating, acknowledge it and let it pass. But my stuff likes to stick. How do we do that?
Good. I'm glad you asked that. So look a meditator in the eyes, make your blood pressure rise. You see, meditation will guide and lead you, just like when you go to the ocean and you sit beside the ocean and you begin to, relax your mind and breathe. The breeze from the ocean will come and grab your breath and take it for a ride on its shoulders. And it will actually teach you and guide you and bring you into the type of deep, elongated breathing that tunes you into the higher levels of frequencies. So before the show, I did my 2nd hour meditation today. So I'm partly in meditation right now. So when you look me in the eyes, you see some meditation eyes. And really the truth is that meditation has a bad rap. Most people go into meditation, Dr. Gilliam, with the wrong definition to fulfill. Meditation is not stopping the mind. See, meditation is not conquering the mind. No, meditation is transcending the mind, transcending form. You see, so concentration and contemplation are states of consciousness, where concentration is where you're concentrating on one thing alone. Contemplation is where you're contemplating a subject matter. Meditation is where you're transcending all things and form. So how do you do that? You just sit still, calm down, begin to take your breaths and slow your breathing down, your inhale and your exhale in a way that's comfortable. And you begin to um, inhale as long as you can comfortably, hold it there at the end of the inhale, then exhale as long as you can comfortably, slowing it down, then hold it there, whatever your comfort zone is. So that's like priming the old-fashioned well, water well, and you're pumping the well, you're using your willpower with your breath. But once the water starts flowing with them old-fashioned water wells, you let go the pump and the water flows on its own. So the breathing concentration is like priming into the higher state of conscious. Now, you heard the word detached awareness. See, detached awareness is where you're being aware of what's happening, the sounds that are going on, the mind and its interruptions of uh, the future and what you want to do in the past and what you didn't like and all these things. But you're not dancing. You're not impersonating none of this because you are detached and you're observing it and you're letting it go. If, like the masters teach, you imagine that each thought, each sound is on a river before you. It comes into your awareness and then it just glides by. You let it go. But the moment you lock on to a thought and you put some feeling into it, whether the feeling is shame, whether the feeling is condemnation, whether the feeling, then you dropped down to the lower plane on the mental plane. So the mental plane is like a biocomputer. That's all it is. Our mind is just accumulated thoughts of everything that was downloaded from our early childhood. So it's continually playing itself back. It's doing what it's supposed to do. We got these computers that calculate, divide, and measure so much. Our brain is way more expanded. So it's going to do its thing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about anything. Stay detached and watch the show. Finally, the living masters, the masterettas and saints and seers say that pure awareness is what we're made of. So pure awareness is being total transparent. So when I hear distractive noise, and now from this pandemic, I'm actually doing meditations outside in public places for 1 hour now. It's quite interesting to watch the animals and the people's experience to that meditation. And the fire trucks are interrupting sounds. What you do, you don't put up force shields and close things out and resist things. No, closing and resisting and defending keeps you on the lower plane of the physical world. That's what we do, fight and flight. On the higher plane, where love exists, we open up and merge and become transparent and let everything flow through us. So we become an ally to everything, as they say in ancient Kemetic. Asar is the state of consciousness that everything and everyone is yourself. So it's about merging, but it takes fearlessness and it takes the the knowing that you're more than just a body, see, and that pure awareness that you are is interpenetrating all beings and all things. And if you try to take your mind there, you won't get there because the mind can only work in the arena of dividing things into pieces of pie to figure them out. See, that's what we're doing with astrology. But we're
Right.
talking about whole oceans. That's not even the word. The world of the formless. It's very mysterious. I hope
Well,
I.
listen, I know you do online astrology classes, but it probably would be a great thing if you would do some Zoom meditation classes, but because everything's now being done online. We talked about what this pandemic has done from a standpoint of people just being able to expand their reach even more so by, from their their office or their living room or wherever. All you have to do is have the equipment, a computer, even a cell phone. Now people knew
That's
that,
right.
but have you considered, or will you consider maybe doing some online meditation, guided meditation? Because I don't know if you know it, but when I used to do the weekly Reiki meditation circles that Sister Zing, got me involved in. She's my initial Reiki master. That we would have people come every Thursday, and we would. I would lead the guided meditation after Sister Zing, left and went to France. I would do the guided meditation, and then I do a little bit of Reiki. I could take people in places. I could even feel where they were when I would go around to each individual person while they were in trance, sort of in that meditative, I won't say trance, but meditative state. And we would say, if you could meditate, if you will, on Vandiver Avenue, where House of Reawakening, my urban meditation, you could meditate anywhere. And they would literally, I'm like, because you hear fire trucks and cursing and all kinds of craziness outside, and it would be like 7 o'clock, so people were out, especially in the summertime. It might still be light, so they would have to go in, but they would go in. I was taking them there, and I was like, Dag, I want to go. I would use my, I would take them somewhere, lead them with my voice, and then give them the Reiki. While they were in Reiki, trance and getting the Reiki, then I would then get an intuitive download about where they were, past lives, and so forth. So when we would come out of it, and everybody would, talk about what their experience had been during the meditation, it was amazing how where people went and saw themselves in past lives, and they saw their last transition, how they died, and some of those things we found out were connections to issues that they were dealing with in their present incarnation. You know what I mean? I remember the
Yes.
time when I did a meditation, and they were European. I'd never seen these women before. It turns out they were mother and daughter. And while I was doing the Reiki and they were in trance, I got this intuitive word that they were mother and daughter, but in opposite roles. In a previous life, I had a date that they died in a house fire, sort of like in an antebellum South Carolina. I had the specific place and where it was. And when we come back, when we I forgot what we call that part, but it's when you come back after you breakout section, everybody comes together and we talk about it. And so when we did that, I said, well, listen, let me tell you what I got for you all. And I told them, explain that to them. And I said, the daughter started crying because she said, I said to her, I said, do you ever feel like you're the mother and she's the daughter? And the daughter started crying and said, yes, yes, yes. She always acts like I'm her mother. And I said, well, that's because you were in a previous incarnation. And even though they had different roles in this particular incarnation, they tended to, and she was wondering why is my mother acting like I'm her mother? Because she had been. And we would get all of these things while they were in meditative trance. And I was like, I wish, what I could do, what I was able to help them do, so someone like you who would guide the meditation. I'll go get a foot massage, like reflexology. And when I do the reflexology, if they're good, I'm gone. That's like meditation. If somebody's, working on your feet and your legs, I have to catch myself. I'm going to start snoring and everything. I'm like, this isn't that kind of party. But it's the ability, like you said, to detach. Did you say detach?
Yes.
But still have a level of is there awareness still to an extent?
Awareness never leaves. The awareness, when you detach, actually gets sharpened. The ancient Cometics say that matter cannot stand scrutiny. Anything you hold your attention on long enough will reveal its true nature. So it's the attention is the essence of being. The attention is the true self. The attention is the pure awareness, and that's the God state, and that's the mystical state. So that's what we want to get to. But we're so, accustomed to using the mind to analytically, you know, But Pisces, I love the Piscean energy, because the Piscean energy, we need to bring that forward in ourselves to blend and be whole. And you're really exemplifying that with your uh, the all of the experiences that you have been through in these awarenesses beyond ordinary consciousness. And even in the current moment, you have just told me what I'm already doing. So I've already made the guided meditation with my own music, my own voice. I have the guided meditation music. The next thing that I'm getting ready to do is actually um, record some of my meditations. I said, I really want to record an hour meditation. I know that'll be too long for most people. The guided meditation is 20 minutes. So I'm going to meditate. I'm going to meditate on the video while I'm speaking and guiding people. So what's happening in my meditations outside, Dr. G, now is it's always coming from my left. Uh, Deers are appearing right beside me. I'm like meditating. I feel the presence. I look as a deer. But the really one that got me was a buck. When I looked to my left, and it was a dust, and I seen a buck with these big horns on my side. You know, bucks travel alone. They don't. It's like, and then the black crows have been coming, but I say all this was outside, so I'm watching the interaction with the squirrels, the black squirrels. So I'm in the house meditating. A couple of weeks ago, early morning, 1 hour, and before the hour's up, it's kind of, not real dark, but it's early morning. And I felt the presence. You know the saying, Dr. G, that things are so quiet you can hear a mouse.
Yeah.
And so
You on top.
I felt the presence, and to my left again, and I looked, and here's this little mouse walking toward me. And I look at the mouse, he looks at me, and I say, okay, I ain't let you disturb my meditations. I go back into meditation and everything like that. But he felt the energy, but also what I'm saying to my beautiful family that's listening, I hope somebody out there listening, that we're getting the signs as we expand into the higher consciousness outside of the little human envelope of human consciousness. We're seeing the signs with the animals coming and giving us messages. And I was telling someone that the squirrels and the birds are around. They're going, whoa, look at this guy. We never seen one of them sit this long before. And it's like, let's go see what this is about. But I believe that when these animals come, it's God speaking to us. See, God is life is
When we
life is
talk
God.
about God, we're talking about the universe as opposed to a man or being per se, or are you? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about the omnipresent one appears everywhere,
Sure. Then the all that is all.
and the communication is testifying, inspiring, clarifying, and motivating the state of unicity. See, now we're synchronized with everything. This is where we want to be. This is where true success happens. We have marginalized ourselves from the collective synchronicity. That's what people don't know. Oh, we're connected all right in the external human world of the mainstream illusion dream. We're connected strongly to that, to social media and the vision of what is success through social media and Hollywood and TV. But our interconnection, yinning in, you got to go in to merge with the whole. What do I mean? This means that everything that is seen came from the unseen. You better find out what the unseen is all about, because it's the source of reality. That's all I'm saying, Doc.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure. I want the audience to know that because you're not going back into that dogmatic God principle when you say that, because
That's right.
we kind of call God some other things. We'll say gold, oil, diamonds, government ordinance department. That stuff. So we want to make sure that we don't see this man sitting up on the throne in the clouds, or the finger that's going out touching down. We don't see that. want to, we know that there is source. We know that there is a higher self, and I also know that it's within each and every one of us. But it takes, to me, the Christ degree is the, Grand Sheik always talks about the anointing, if the oil, the Christ. When you think about Crisco and Christ, it's oil, and it's the oil of the anointing of the pineal gland, and that when you reach that, he says that kundalini, if you will, that and then you see the caduceus, the medical profession uses that symbol of caduceus, but it's also the symbol of the kundalini, because it's showing it's the spine. And when you're that medulla oblongata and that orbital occipital nerve and all that area, down in that area, when that stuff it hits that pineal gland and everything begins to explode with the release, if you will, of that oil, then we
Yes.
get that sight. So some of us, it has actually happened, but we don't acknowledge it because it's not taught. You know what I mean? It is not normal. It's us weird folks. And see, some of the people that are listening right now, they didn't know how, out the box that Dr. G is. They see me doing more science classes and having, Grand Sheik and so forth, but they don't know my own mystical experiences. That I've seen entities walk through doors. You know what I mean? I've seen things that happen, and I don't know if I ever had that conversation with you, but I've actually literally seen, prior to maybe about within a week of before my daughter passed, I had an out of body experience where I was holding her in my arms, and all of a sudden I froze, and I looked down and she's in my arms, but I see this thing. I see me, it wasn't a thing. I see me going up the stairs with her in my arms, and this black, ominous, like, it was very formless, but it was evil. It was trying to squeeze her body between me and the rungs, like, the stairs have rungs, the white rungs going up, and it was trying to crush her between the rungs of my body and the rungs of the stairs. And I was trying to get away, but I'm watching like I'm watching a TV show. And it was a week later, not even a whole week later, that and I was visiting my parents when this happened. And it was about less than a week later, I was at home, and I put her in the Saturday night in her crib, in the bed next to me, in the bedroom next to me, for the very first time in her life. And that's the night she died, in the crib with the white rungs. And they deemed it crib death, but literally she was moved. She was at one end of the crib when I put her in there, and her body was at the other end. It was the weirdest thing. And what had happened prior to this happening is that my house had a fire a little over a year prior, and a friend who I had given a place to stay, her and her son, a fire broke out in my home, and her son died as a result of the fire. And that was painful. My children lived, but her son died. House gets remodeled. I'm back in the house. I had my daughter, the only daughter that I had, and I kept her in the bed with me for almost 7 weeks. And in the 6 weeks, she goes for a 6 weeks checkup, and I run into the sister or the aunt of the little boy that had died a year and a half earlier. And she looked at my daughter, and she looked at me, and she said, "What goes around comes around." And so in her 7th week of life, and the first time I put her in the crib, but I saw it prior to it, she dies in the crib with the white rungs, and they call it crib death. So I've seen things, you know what I mean? I've experienced painful things that, it wasn't just that she died, but it's just that I saw it prior to it happen. I heard negative words uttered prior to this, you know what I mean? And so, and I'm not saying this to get anybody to feel sorry for. This has been 35 years. She would be 35. She would have been 35 on March 1st. She was a Pisces. But she came back 3 years later, back in my family again as my granddaughter.
Wow. Yeah. The phenomena of the The spiritual world is so grand and overwhelming. That's why so many people are afraid of it, and that's why so much taboo uh, and fear has been around that. However, as we courageously seek to know ourselves and to solve the mystery of life, we begin to see that it's user friendly, the universe, the
Yeah.
all, the source, and that there's a purpose. And like you said, there is no God that's torturing people and hurting people. Uh, we create most of our suffering for ourselves. So yes, we're moving forward with clarity and faith that our gifts are awakening now to fulfill our mission in a life in a time that there's a crisis on the planet.
Hmm.
Everything is changing, and change is being forced upon us. And where we are in our evolutionary state of consciousness dictates how we're going to respond to this change, Doctor. And I'm
Hmm.
so thankful for you and your evolving uh, evolutionary journey and what you have done for people all around the world and all over America. And starting this show in May is your response and your call to your ministry to fulfill your mission. And it's helping so many people, and it's going to, um, as they say, blow up.
Well, I just want to do my part. And one thing I thrive and strive on is honesty. Being authentic. I believe in authenticity. I don't like fake, phony people. I don't like people that have one persona in the public. And then, if you find them, if you see them on the street, or if you do see them out they have a totally different, maybe they're negative, maybe they don't know how to interact with the people or be human with the people. I can't deal with people who are fake and phony. And so I have prided myself on being as transparent as I can be about who Dr. G is. You know what I mean? I've been through some things, but I've gone through some things. I think the good news is most of the things I've been through, I've gone through. You see what I'm saying?
That's good news.
As
That's
opposed
good
to,
news.
I can't stay stuck on the things that I've been, that happened to me, because I realize, like you said earlier, this school, we come here, this is a school. We come to learn, and we also come to be teachers of a sort, because others are, as you say, watching what we're doing and what
That's
we're
right.
saying. I posted something on my page yesterday about a 14-year-old young man out of Philadelphia who started a business, a clothing business, and I was so impressed by him and listening to him and his mother and just his speech, his vernacular, his work ethic, and it would just put most adults to shame. So I posted about him. So I'm learning too some things from this young man. He's 14. I'm 65, and I'm learning stuff from him. And I'm like, we can never say that you can't learn from someone younger or whatever, because some of these souls are old souls that have come back and may be older in the universal sphere than you are. So this time they come on the planet, they incarnate, they're wise beyond their years, because their years are beyond what you think, because that's not the only life that they've had. This is not the only life. And now they're able in a small body to be a very big person that's going to make a big impact. And so I never discount the contribution of another. I try to give people opportunities to present who they are and what they have and so forth. So with that in mind, one of the things I'm going to be doing either in next month or September, I've already got the agreement, so I can't announce this. They said yes. I'm doing a program called Growing Up with Dr. G. And I'm literally invited my 3 adult sons to be my guests on this show, because I can have up to 10 guests on here. So they'll be kind of like, so I'm going to have my three sons on the show, and they're going to talk about growing up with Dr. G, because folks call me from all over. Folks, respect and I don't say everybody does, but most of the people that call me because they have some level of respect. They regard me as an elder and all of that. But I wasn't always the person that I didn't present. Let me say, as the person I'm growing into this person that you see today. You know what I mean? And so
Yes.
I think it's important for us to be transparent, because people think that you just come out, you know, and you got it going on. No, there's struggles sometimes involved with it. And the struggles are not necessarily for you, but they're for you to be able to model something that will help somebody else make it through something that they otherwise
Precisely.
couldn't. Yes. So, and that's the way I see things. That's the way. And so my starting this show was was also an opportunity, because, you know, I was a preacher. I was a pastor. I preached every Sunday, almost, at least 2 to 3 Sundays a month for almost 10 years as a pastor. I got a lot of tapes. Sometimes I go back and listen to them. And although, you know, it's laden with dogma, there's normally a whole bunch of gems in there, because at the root of who I am, I was always that person. And so Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey told me the other day he listened to an old sermon. I said, no, was it a message when I woke up? He said, no, one of your sermons. He said, and it was so deep. He said, I just enjoyed listening to it. It was, you know, CD. So I have been who I am. I had to go that route, I'm pretty sure, in order to present myself before the people that I do as an authentic person. And so me bringing my sons on, to be honest, I'm pretty sure that there was times when they were like, why is she our mother? There was times when I was not even attentive to their needs, because I was all about me. We all go through those stages. I was about my love life and my having the right clothes and my having the right persona. And so there were times when I failed. But one thing I can say for sure, that where we are in 2020, my sons are 49, 45, and 39. Okay. They're not babies. And so we sit around and we joke, we look back, we laugh, we cry, but we think that we have a lifestyle that is an experience that other people can grow from. You know, I have one son, and my eldest son, who I had as a teenager. So you know what happens when you have baby as a teenager? Mama and them take him. So he got raised by my mother and stepfather, and they wouldn't let me take him. So then I got, you know, one that I had from my first marriage, and, you know, he's the one that up and left at 17, because, you know, there was situations. And then I got the baby boy, mama's boy, who I drugged to church everywhere I went when I got into my church bag and made him a church boy. So now they're like, we wish you were how you are now then, but we can laugh about it, but we can look back on it and hopefully help other people. You know what I mean? So that's Dr. G. That's Dr. G.
Beautiful, Dr. G. And we thank you. The world is happy that you are blessing all of us up as a beacon of light. And
blessing,
you've had so many.
Look, I'm not blessing, that's bleeding. I'm blessing them.
blessing. That's right.
Yes. Anyway, listen, I want to go, because it wasn't supposed to be about me. I want to talk before we get, because we got quite a few people that put their you probably go all the way back, and I'm hoping, because sometimes, yeah, I'm missing a lot of folks. What happens with my, unfortunately, I'm seeing how far I can go back. I'm sorry, you all. You are probably going to have to start. I probably said that too early about the birth, you know, putting their information in, because what happens with this particular software, it scrolls to a certain point, and then it doesn't let me go back. So, but I happen to write down, I'm going to ask Sade, let me see, Toothless, Tiger, Lauren, Paris, and Kismet. I'm going to ask you all to put your information. Anybody, I'm trying to, I don't see your information, because, and as a matter of fact, actually don't do it now. Because I want you to answer a question, and then I want them to, you may have to re-put your information in again, which will be your day, month, year of birth, time, and place. But please don't do it now, because what happens is it deletes. It doesn't delete. It's going to be on the playback, but what it doesn't allow me to do, Tuere, is go back and get you to scroll to the very beginning. So we're missing everybody. But I want to talk about your astrology readings. Tell us about before astrology, remote viewer. When you were in the military, did they teach you how to do remote viewing while you were in the military, or did they pick up a psychic ability and then tap you to be able to do that?
Interesting. Well, when I went into the military at 17, and you take a test, and they decided to put me in signal school, which is communication. I went to school in Fort Gordon, Georgia, teletype communication and signal. And then when I went to my first duty station in Fort Hood, Texas, I was in 191st Military Intelligence. And the company commander quickly seen something in me he liked, and he snatched me up to be his personal driver and an assistant there. And that started quite an interesting relationship. Yes, I've had some experience as a young teenager in the service of remote viewing and out of the body and visions and things. However, uh, in that situation, military intelligence is top secret and classified, and I can't really talk about too much that happened back then. I don't want to get in no trouble, see.
Well, I
But
had a top secret. I was a 90. I was a 96 C10. So I was an electronic warfare signal intelligence analyst myself.
yes.
Time in there. So yeah, I realized that, but I didn't want you necessarily to talk about exactly, but I know that remote viewers have been used for many, 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 many years to
Exactly.
go in and get intel in the sense about, and to be able to, a lot of times there's some sisters that I used to watch in the last year or two ago that they work with this guy, and they would be given just some coordinates and just some particular coordinates, and before you know it, they were given they even went back as far as Atlantis, and they were able to remote view in the past and so forth. So I've seen, some of that in operation, but I realized that the military has used it to get intel on various people, places, and things, and I don't want to get
Yeah.
into any
And
trouble.
the way of love is not to spy on people. The way of love is to accept an invitation. See, I don't just read into people. There's things that you see, but uh, people, I need permission to do a reading for you. See, that's the way of love, because you're looking into a person. And I know that, yeah, so at that teenage years, I began to see visions. Basically, you see it in your mind's eye. And for me, I wish I had the clarity and the color. I mean, there was a few times I had some dreams in color, and I was like amazed. Boy, I'm seeing in color. But for the most part, it's not. It's just like seeing something on the TV screen that's like kind of dim, you know. And but you see enough of it, and once you have seen it before, you have faith in it once it appears,
Mhm.
to speak it out, like for example, um there was a reading we done on WPFW radio here in Washington maybe a month ago, and I was speaking, and I said, I see it now, Harriet. And she said, oh my God, that's the picture on the wall right behind me.
Mhm.
So nothing specially attached to me, any ESP. We all have gifts in us. Like the psychic or the sleeping prophet Edgar Casey said, that mind is the builder. Whatever you put your attention to, you get more of. Some people have passion to put their attention there. Some people are scared as snails, to put their attention on something so mysterious and invisible like that, thinking, as we all have been scared to believe that, oh, some demons are going to take us over if we get out there too far in meditation or something, and they're going to take us over and take. So being controlled by fear has been and is, you can see what's happening today. Just like as I said, that lightning just flashed in the window and thunder here. Um, you know, remember the old folks who say it was lightning and thunder, and then people get scared when the lightning and thunder and everything. But
God is throwing thunderbolts. I'm angry with you. You've done something bad.
you know, but really, all things are a blessing to us if we believe that. But we're able to take our thoughts and change a blessing into something that's not a blessing,
Well,
because
yeah,
we are creators.
blissful. I call it bliss. I keep correcting you. I'm sorry, but I don't want you to be saying blessing because that means bleeding. Because that's the thing.
What does it mean? Bring it out.
Bless but when the Pope and them when they said I bless you, it meant, if you look at the etymology of the word bless, it means bleed. And so we don't want to bless people. We want to so people have started saying bliss you.
Okay.
That's that state of bliss, because a lot of times we don't get into the etymology and the meaning of these words, and we say a lot of things that seemingly are good, but they're curses, so to speak, when we speak of. So bless actually means bleed. Comes from an etymology of the word that means to bleed, and it had something to do with when they used to come in during their Spanish, during their inquisitions and so forth, and pillage and take every, in the name of the Pope and all of that. They were blessing the people. They were killing them. So let's not bless them. Let's bless them.
That's going to take some time for me to get that out of my lingo.
It will. Yeah. But I'm dropping it there because I want
Very
you to.
Good.
Yeah, because you don't want to bless them, bliss them. Like my girl PJ, she has a book called Forgiveness is Bliss, right? And so we need to get into a place of blissfulness and stop trying to bless folk. Maybe that's the problem. That's what we've been doing. But so your astrology and your readings, when you studied, like I said, under some of the masters. So I don't know about all these masters, but I'm assuming Saint, and I'll probably put Sant Darshan Singh was here. You actually studied under him in the flesh, and now he has transitioned
Sant Darshan Singh was not an astrologer. He was a living masters in a lineage of masters from India in the Satmat Yoga, which is the path of the mystics and the masters. He was a mystic poet. And so, yes, I was initiated by him and had the direct contact. He took me in a room and talked to me personally, but there were other occasions. He was on his last world tour. I met him in '86 here in Washington, D.C. area, Virginia area. And he, I can validate his genuinity from my direct experience with him. In his presence, I would rise up out of my body. That's one of the signs he gave me, is the lightness of so rising up out of body is a kind of a really beautiful thing, because we get to see that we're more than just this body. You see, we are something invisible but alive and conscious, and that moves us into the deeper levels of realizing and experiencing energy and existence as formlessness. See,
but you had done that, right? But you had done that as a young teenager, because if I recall you saying a little earlier that you and your first love used to sit in the grass and would literally had risen up out of your bodies together.
Anytime someone comes and reconfirm an altered state of consciousness, that is the divine showing the synchronicity and the blissness of that sacred moment. So yes, that happened, but a lot of people talking metaphysics, but it's an intellectual thing for them. But it has been said for eons. The masters say that silence has a mighty voice, and masters, they don't have to say nothing. The teaching happens, and so it's a confirmation. Okay, so Maya Angelou said, you may forget what people say, but you'll never forget the way they made you feel. Well, how do you feel when you're out of your body? That experience lasts with you forever. But not just that, there was a cleanliness. I watch his attitude. I watch how he stayed up all morning, seeing individual after individual. He anyway, I was initiated by two other living masters, but they weren't astrologers. Not astrologers that you're talking about. So in in the 90s, I went to my first UAC. The UAC are where the top astrologers on the planet come together for a week of classes, all multiple classes all day long. They have all these gatherings. They have balls, grand balls. They have so many things. And so I wanted to see who are the spiritual astrologers. When I say top astrologers, what we're talking about is the people who are well known, who are the most published, who are the most authoritative in the world of astrology. Of course, most of them are white, and they let one good
Or European.
they let one good boy, the Good Old Boy Network, they let one black astrologer come in. I met in my second UAC, Dr. Mitchell Gibson. He's a black. He started out as a brain surgeon.
I'm getting ready to correct you. See, I'm messing with your whole thing because you're my friend and I love you. Okay, they're not white. They're European. We're not black. We're melanated or Moors. So he was melanated. But I know about Dr. Gibson. I've heard about him.
Right. And so you're gonna be correcting me all night on the air, dear. Because,
yeah, I'm not. This, you know why I'm doing this?
It's okay.
Because you're my brother, and so I'm just I'm doing it because I don't want these folk on here to say, well, you don't know. But everybody doesn't know, right? So I'm telling you him because he doesn't know, but it doesn't take away from. And now I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. It does not take away from what he brings of value to us because he's one of us too. So we have to check, we have to correct our language and what we're saying. I'm still doing it for myself, Brother Tuere. Don't worry about it. But I wanted to get, because you're coming back on here. So next time you come, some of these words, you'll be like, okay, all right. But, because I have issues. I take issue with folks that know and then won't do it. It's one thing not to know and then got to get used to correcting it. But it's folks that know better and won't do it.
Yes, you're correct. I have no problem with changing. Life is a matter of change.
You want to know
changing
why?
of the matter.
Right. You want to know why?
However, knowing can never replace being, and being is the most important thing. If one is being the higher state of consciousness, then when some information come about the meaning of words or mental concepts, one is able to check it and receive it, But
yes.
What we need is to enter into the state of being, and if using words with the correct meaning can activate the states of being, then let's do it.
Yeah, that's what. Matter of fact, we have a show coming up this Friday to Sister Tamara L and I are going to do. We normally don't do a fourth Friday show, but just so y'all know, Sister Tamara said hello to our. I see her saying that in the comments. Sister Tamara and I will be on Friday night, and we're going to be talking about the misclassification. Misclassification of a people. And so we want you all to tune in, but we'll be posting that about that. And we'll be talking about just that very thing, how we need to, correct some things. And then we need to practice it until it becomes a part of who we are. But the people that flip flop, I listened to a sister today talking some good stuff, but she called us we were melanated and we were black. We were melanated and we were black. Come on now. Leave it. I can understand that you're not saying more. Okay, it's all right. But stick with the melanated. And if you know about melanation, then you should also know about what's wrong with calling yourself and your folks, our people, black, because that's a status, not a complexion or color. None of us on here are the color that's around the trim of this background. We're not black. That's a legal status. And so we're going to be talking about that and some other stuff. So anywho, but I want to going back to the astrology piece. You read for a lot of people, but two in particular kind of stick out that we know you've told me over the years. Can you share a little bit about those two famous people that we know, many of us know?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to share?
What do you share? Well, you did. I remember you telling me that you did a reading for Nanda Lewis for those who were, And I'm much older, but I remember 106 in Park, right? Was that 106 in Park? No, what was the show? Was it
Yeah.
106 in Park?
Well, Ananda Lewis was hosting Team Summit when I did
Oh,
the
Team
reading for
Summit.
her
Team
in
Summit.
Washington,
Okay.
D.C. So that was happening here. And a part of the reading, I remember that we talked about her expanding and being promoted. And before you know it, she got her promotion to MTV and she
Oh,
moved to New York. Yeah.
okay.
And India Ari, we had met in Atlanta when I was down there. And I was working with a food ministry, getting healthy whole foods to families. And India's mother had donated refrigerators to the food ministry, but I didn't know who it was. And one day I was in there just working, and someone says, India Ari is here. And when I seen her, I didn't even recognize her. You know, she had a different, you know, how celebrities change their look.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got some groceries, and I walked out to the car to help her with her groceries. And we were talking in some kind of way. It got to the point where I was letting her know I was an astrologer. And she said, well, I want a reading. And I said, well, okay, that's good. Well, I'm ready now, she said. I said, well, I'm working now. Can we give you my number? You call me later? And I said, yeah. So she called me later. And the next day she came to my house. And let me tell you, this sister sat down and she had me doing a reading for 3 hours for her.
Oh gosh.
I still got the CDs of
That's right.
the copy.
You do record the readings.
Yes. And so, and then after that, I guess, well, no guess, she was pleased because for that summer and 2 summers after that, she gave us free tickets, backstage tickets to her concerts there in Atlanta. She came to one of the meditation groups I had at my house, and she is also got 2 of the special Mystic Weave sterling silver bracelets that I make. So it was a pleasure, you know, meeting her and seeing how real she was and experiencing how real she was and is. And I'm, you know, I'm always open to do readings for the known and the unknown.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sister Tamara said that we need another retreat. Yeah, was it like year last summer? Did we do no? Was it summer before
Summer
last?
before last.
Yeah,
Summer before last.
summer before last. Talk about that where you took us. It was
Okay. Well, this was one of the retreats that of many that I decided to bring groups of people to Assateague Island. Assateague Island is a state park in Maryland, south of Ocean City, Maryland. They have 100 live horses. It's a campsite. You're able to bring your camping gear in the camp, and so we brought groups on the full moon to do full moon meditations and sunrise meditations. So we would gather in our tents, build our tents and everything, and then the full moon is rising over the ocean. We have some beautiful pictures. We're sitting out, we meditate on the full moon. We would maybe play some songs, chant, and then of course the sunrise in the morning. So wasn't that beautiful?
yeah, because it was just like rising with the healing in the wings. I love that picture that with me watching the sun come up.
Yes, yes. And we were with nature, and that's just it. I was born near the ocean in Florida, so I'm an ocean person, and you're a Pisces, so you're near the ocean too. And you know, the ocean tunes you in to the creator. I know that. The mother will tune you in if you go there and just sit and breathe with it and merge with it. Why? Because nature is already in harmony with the creator. If we're out of tune, get and sit and harmonize with nature, it would hone you right on in to the source.
That's good. Yeah, we had a wonderful time. We had a wonderful time. I see Sister Dawn is on. Sister Dawn Washington is on here.
Blessings.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time because it's right there on the beach. I mean, we just it was just it was wonderful, and we were looking forward to doing it. Last year we didn't, and then COVID is coming this year. Sister Tamara says she tried to get booked, and they were booked up, and she said 3 days after they started taking bookings, they were booked up through September. But we'll get back there. Such a wonderful, wonderful place. So here we are. I was able to go back, and I saw somebody says I need a silver bracelet. Well, you can contact brother Tuere right there on his website, the insightlight.net. There's also an email contact, I think, on your actual website. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And also, I know you do have a YouTube page now. Where tell us a little bit about that before we get into the readings. Tell us about your YouTube page that you have. I mean, YouTube channel that you have now. And how often do you put new videos up?
Similar to you, Dr. Gilliam, I was moved to begin this ministry during this pandemic. It's like I've been thinking about it for years, but the urgency of the need and the situation caused me to to move with the energy and to get this YouTube thing going. And every week I do a energetic weather report. It's very valuable to let ones know the weather report energetically what's coming up, so you can really avoid a lot of pain and suffering by knowing some of the times and days where it's going to be most challenging, but also the benefits of that energy and that experience. So we do the energetic weather reports, but I'm going to keep you inspired on this channel. There is I just put on there a old video, historical video of me opening up for the great astrologer Robert Hand. Robert Hand is known as the astrologer's astrologer, and he's one of the, if not the most published astrologer on the planet right now. I met him at the UAC, and I was asked to open for him, and his way is the younger Tuere, but it was amazing how that what I was saying was applicable to what's going on now. And I asked ones who look at that to make a comment and tell me what's that expression on his face as he watched me to speak this mystic poetry. So also, as you spoke earlier, the healing arts using music and sound, all of these things, and the beautiful thing that we're working on now, of course, we say the meditation, the guided meditation, we already have that, it happening. But the next level is I'm going to be doing readings on live on YouTube in real time for people all around the world. And I need to be accessible to the world. And the world needs to see a melanated man. Did I say that right?
Yes, you
The world
did.
needs to see. I'm gonna be a. I'm a.
Yes,
But when we see how we get so used to speaking things that are in the comfort zone of the collective,
yes,
you see, but
yes.
to bring the collective out, somebody has to set the standard. So the melanated man
That
is
sounds
not
good. That sounds good. What you saying that too? You a quick
okay.
You're quick. You're a fast learner.
The melanated brother is not in the collective archetypal consciousness as being a seer, a spiritual reader, or a psychic, or why? Because it goes with our Western society of suppressing the power and the ancient past. However, there's all these young people that are ripe and ready, and they need to see. I mean, we need more sisters. Sisters are leading the way, of course.
Yes, yes.
But I wish I want to see some brothers out there so that the younger sisters and brothers go, whoa, I mean, I can do that too? Wow, he from the hood like me? Oh, wow, that's real? They need to see it first to jump on the bandwagon. And so I feel like that I'm one of the ones that have that responsibility to exemplify. And the beautiful thing is before I was on a roll in the public schools, the high school students and the middle school students here in DC teaching astrology before the pandemic came, and I got some of that videos of that also on the
So
site.
you were actually allowed in the public. You were in the public school teaching astrology, and there was it a after school extracurricular type thing, or how did that happen?
It was during the schools, and thanks to my beautiful brother Asheru, he's the one that wrote the rap and the jingle for the Boondocks. You remember the
movie, that TV animated thing, the Boondocks?
cartoon, the Boondocks, yes. And
Okay.
he's the founder of Guerrilla Arts here in DC. And he's he is a teacher. He teaches teachers how to teach correctly. And so
Okay.
through him, he brought me. He was the vehicle that brought me into the schools, working with during school time. So I've been to Cardoza High School and Ballou High School and some others that I can grab right now. But it was exciting. So I have some of the on my website and on YouTube. Some of the excerpts from the students. They're ready. See, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that.
Someone's asking a question that says, does anyone know Brother Tuere Cheka's astrological system? Do you have a system?
No, I don't have a system, and I just like asking a mystic a system. When you ask a mystic a system, you're gonna go, what system? I just study truth from every path, and it becomes a pathless path. So really what astrologers want to get to, are you using the Vedic astrology 23 degrees behind Western astrology or the Western astrology? I use both. And once you get to a level, you begin to see that the intuitive connection is greater than the science of the analytical mind.
Mm-hmm.
So many, you see, there's arguments about what method or vehicle astrology is the best. There's always been that going on. And I see validity in it all, just like I see validity in many different spiritual paths. There's many different ways to say the same thing and many different ways to hear the same thing said. One of the things that on the expanding into astrology, one realizes is that the most important thing is the planets and their relationship to each other, way more important than the signs or the houses, because planets represent living energy. We're talking about life here. There's nothing more important than life, you see. The signs are just the characters. On the stage, we change characters, many different characters on the stage, and the character is only momentarily. So as the ancient Cometics taught, to be whole, we have to be the Asar, or Osiris, some call. And that is the all-seeing eye of the full circle of all the signs. So one sun sign is only 1/12 of the conscience of reality. To be whole, you have to become all the signs and act out each sign as it has that particular expression in its harmonic time. Whatever signs we don't like is a part of ourself that we don't like.
Wow. That's deep. I think what we're going to do is, like I said, unfortunately, the people that responded to my earlier, I don't have anything past 8:39 p.m. as far as comments, and I don't know if you scroll back, can you scroll up as far as where they're putting in their information?
I never got nothing here.
Oh, you don't see it?
I
Okay,
never
so
got anything. What it says here is private chat and then comments. Maybe I should
that's,
hit comments.
yeah, that's what
Should
you
I
should click.
click
Click
on
on comments.
Oh, wow, I got a bunch of them. I got from Sade 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got a bunch of them that I can
Okay.
scroll through.
Okay. So I think you see the. Do you see the
So I'm
very
gonna go up to
first?
the top. I'm gonna go up to the top and see. Yeah, I got them. Okay, so at 8:43, I got is it
That's not.
Sade?
Yeah.
And
See,
then I got Be Original.
I think it was a Toothless. Somebody I was writing them down, and Lauren and Kismet. I
Okay,
wrote a few of them down that
very
came
good.
first.
So
But
I'm
I think
looking for birthdays. I see a lot of comments here, and I'm scrolling to see if anybody left any birthdays. And yeah, I got Jacqueline Evans was the first. No,
but
before
not
her.
actually the very first one was Sade, but like I think it's probably do. What happens is after it gets to be so many comments, it stops showing them. So the
I
very
got
first.
Joanne too. Joanne Health got her birthday up there. I got yeah, you're right. Sade is up there.
But the first one I saw.
Yeah. So you want me to
Yes,
crank up her chart? Okay, let me do
yes,
that real quick.
yes. So
And yeah, you can go ahead and wrap while I'm gonna just bring that.
well, I want to say to those that are listening, I first of all I want to say I appreciate you. I certainly appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you sharing and liking what we do, and also giving me some comments about what you'd like to see too. I am also looking for people to appear on office hours with Dr. G. I don't know everybody. You guys know a lot of times of people you've encountered, you've had other folks that you've worked with, and they would be of interest to a larger community. Please connect them with me. glitchccm.com, glitchccm@gmail.com is my email address. And of course, I will look forward to speaking to, or if you have a number, please, you can call me, send me a text and say, this person would be a good person to have on your show. I would appreciate it because I don't want to have a time when I don't have something because I don't have anyone to have on the show. That's one of the things I don't want to do. So, anyway, I do appreciate the comments. I'm going through the comments right now, and I've been looking. I only had one block party since I've been on here. I didn't say anything to you all, but I just blocked the person. I have, that's my new thing. I think I'm gonna make a sign and it'll say block party, and you'll know I blocked somebody. And then, because if they don't like what we have on here, it's just like, don't come on this channel. Nobody forces you to look at this channel. So,
Hey
are you
Doc.
ready? Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, Doc. No one really followed your directions. What I have is I have
Some
birth
people get,
dates.
I see
I
some
have
with times, but some would not.
I have the day, the month, and the year, but I don't have the place for Sade. And then as I was scrolling, I was looking for
Sade is
anyone.
San Francisco.
Okay, so that's what they have to give me the place to get their coordinates. Okay, let me bring her back up then. I
San
got
Francisco.
okay, San Francisco. Very good. And okay.
So,
And she didn't have a time, did she?
now that I don't know.
It's
Sade,
okay. It's okay then.
okay. Let me see your time. Yeah, we want to make sure we make sure you have if you know your time. Everybody doesn't know their birth time,
I
but
know it. Yeah.
mhm. So if you have it, and it's
All
easy.
right. So and
Okay.
then um, you know, some of these charts, some of them I can just, do the reading with what I got. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me one. Okay, great. All right, I'm ready for Sade, Renee.
Sade. Okay.
Okay, um, are you there, dear? So,
Let me
um,
see. Sade,
is,
I think,
oh,
yeah.
oh, we're not going to see her live, huh?
No, we're not going to see her live.
Okay, got it.
Well,
Okay.
well,
Go,
here we
go.
go. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, where is Sade? I'm just going to, there's Sade.
Okay, she's pretty. All right, so Um, June 6th. Very good. Blessings to you, dear.
I think it was
Uh,
July 6th. Was it
oh yeah,
July?
that's right. It is. I have July 6th. I'm just saying it wrong. Just tuning in. Well, the thing about this sister here is that she's a super mom. She is a very powerful woman, royal. Her love is royal. Her love is, she got a heart on her, and she expresses her feelings. Very defensive when it comes to family, protective of the family. This past couple years has been really intense for her. Actually, 3 years, and a lot of changes and transformations, and learning about bringing out the masculine energy in her and how to balance the masculine with the feminine, how to be assertive and how to govern her masculine energy, and to be able to uh, initiate and practicalize her visions and her dreams, because her dreams and her visions are very powerful. A super intuitive, born on a new moon, uh, in the sign of Cancer. Her, oh man, this is just like being able to tune right into those people around her. Her intuitive abilities are off the chart. Let's look at her progress chart.
She did put her
Uh,
time in as birth time is 6:28 p.m. 6:28 p.m.
okay, so I can um yeah. Okay, let me just, I have 6 a.m., but let me
6:28.
rectify that to 6:28, which is not going to change. T- um, very little change. 6:28. And did
Wait
you
a
say
minute.
it eight?
She says p.m. Is it p.m.? Wait a minute. p.m.
Okay, 6:28 p.m. and booyah. Okay, good. All right, so uh, once again, stressing the fire nature. Um, and the water nature. Both of those characters are so strong in her, and to bring the balance to the masculine and the feminine inside of her own being. The intuitive receptivity, empathy is very powerful, but at the same time, the past from childhood, the experiences of pain from being so open and vulnerable, and the emotional pain that she has received, transcending that and doing the shadow work to release that pain, not to project it onto others in relationship, but as well as to be able to help uh, uh, those women that have been also just painfully hurt. Her courage to come out and to speak the truth, her love to champion courageously love, and her love and her inquisitiveness about mysticism and the invisible world is very powerful. The place that she's in now is expanding her spiritual path to psychic receptivity. In other words, ancient Kemetic teachings, the ancient Kemetic teachings have been kind of lost, really, and we get some watered down versions of it. But how we tune into the ancient Kemetic teachings is through our spiritual uh, ESP, uh, awakening and remembering, and it comes to us. And this is a process that's coming to now, relationships and love. Ooh, yeah, we always want to, so it's coming up, the love for us, She's the best of love and relationships is coming up for her. If she was in a loving relationship now, it's just going to get better and better. But if not, then she better empty her cup and have it ready, because her progressed sun is catching up with her natal Venus, which is a very powerful thing. And Jupiter next year and Saturn will be trining her progressed Venus. And so follow your heart, dear, because it's going to guide you what feels good to you. And don't placate for others or sacrifice being true to yourself for others. And just continue to be courageous on your path. And yes, um, the masculine next month, the testosterone in you is going to hit the charts. You're going to have a lot of energy for dancing and exercising and movement, a lot of energy to activate to get things done. Don't let anyone restrict you. You were born 60 years after Martin Luther King, so you also have Saturn and Sagittarius like Martin Luther King. And that means that your work is about justice and equality and standing up for the people who are marginalized and who don't have a voice and who are untouchables, and being a voice for this universal spiritual principles of Ma'at. Many blissness. Much
Listen,
blissness to you.
I know that I've noticed that, I know you don't see all of these comments, but I think she's been going through something with regard to having her child taken from her. And I know you started out by saying, she's a super mom. And I think that was very important for you to say that, because I think she's in a fight for her custody of her child from authorities. And I'm not sure what the whole thing is, but I've seen it in the comments. So I know you didn't see that, but I know I don't know if you see anything from any legal standpoint coming up in her that's there now or might be coming up with regard to that situation that she's dealing with. But I do know I've seen quite a bit about her child being taken unjustly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like I said, she's been through some challenges, and the when I say the masculine energy, see, that's what's swelling up in her, and so how she deals with anger, see, there's a certain way that the anger has to be transmuted and to put into viable, meaningful actions. And the situation on the whole planet now is very volatile, that there's so much anger around the world that any little bit of anger, one could combust and it's combustible.
And so she has court tomorrow. So, and she said she hates having to resort to her masculine energy, but she has court tomorrow, so she needs to harness that.
Okay, well, Doc, yeah. So I don't know if she
Let's go back. Let's go up to. Go ahead.
Contact me or not. I didn't know I was going to be reading like this. I'm not really into it too much when I don't have a direct response from the person, so no one could see the people responding.
I'm just seeing what she's writing. So if you look at the comments, she is commenting. But so as he reads for you, if you want to say yay or nay about something, please do put that in there. Now there was someone who Toothless Tiger, I can't find your information if you want to put it back in, because I know you want to read it because you told me, but I'm going to go back up to where I can. And even Amanda, I can't see yours. A lot of folks, it just has disappeared. So the next one that I can see is a Dwight. Well, he doesn't have a time here, but I see a Dwight Phillips that's born. Well, yes, it is 8/6/59. And it's at 6 p.m. in Houston, Texas.
Okay, let me see if I can get that on here.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure. So listen, it takes because he's actually pulling up your chart. So
what's the birthday again?
August 6, 1959, 6 p.m., Houston, Texas.
That's good. That's good. He got all the information there. That's good.
Okay, y'all. Let me see. So if you all start to put that back in, I do apologize, but some things just disappeared.
Okay. Okay. I
Right.
have his chart now. Yeah, Doc. What I was saying is that I thought that you had the capacity, like on radio, on this
To
software,
bring the person
to
up.
actually bring the person up.
No, can't do that.
Ah.
Can't,
What?
I can invite somebody on, but I'm not, I haven't, I have to
Okay.
literally have to send them an invite
Oh
every time.
yeah. So yeah. If I would have known that, I would have said, "Nah, I don't want to do readings because I like one-on-one contact with people."
Well, at least
Uh,
what I'm going to, but if they're still on there, they're making comments here as you say
I
what you said.
I
Then I'm
understand. I
okay.
understand. I got his chart up, so let's
Okay.
see what's going on with the white here.
Amanda.
Very good. So, August 6, 1959, Houston, Texas. Oh man, you're like picky, focus, detail. This is good. This is good. You got a very powerful mind. And the good, I mean, I'm sure someone has referred to you before as ingenious epiphanies and flashes of insight that come to your mind. Uh, and your connection with women, really good, but you're very picky. Your standards are high. And you've been told over and over again that you're super critical. Did I say super critical? And so basically you just take the fingers and point at yourself, and that's how you grow, is, be your own critiquer. You really are diving into these mysteries and have a great desire and curiosity for the mysteries. The ancestors uh, are really working with you, very powerful. And I mean, brother, you're really off the charts as far as being in this lifetime uh, on a mission of deep relationships, uh, interpersonal relationships. Why? Because you're here to share as a team, uh, um, relationship, spiritual relationship, working with as a team for your ministry. And you know, once again, you're here to be able to help people who have been marginalized, through crisis, and even imprisonment. You might have had some imprisonment yourself in this life, but there's a great understanding of people who have been victimized. Also, challenging times for you as far as learning to release the personal now more and more, um, learning uh, to be an ally of death and renunciation and releasing. This is what's up from the beginning of the year, and to okay. Any comments from him coming through?
No, I don't see anything from him yet.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
all right.
So he's not
And
saying anything.
all right, very good. So that's yeah, that's what I'm used to, getting a direct experience back from the people I'm doing
Well,
readings with.
let me see if he said anything. Let me go back. Let me go back down. Nick Dwight Phillips. He hasn't said anything, so we can move on.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Wait. Let me. Okay. Let me give you while I'm doing this. I'll just give you this one. Amanda Siegel, 129.94, 6:28 p.m. of Boynton Beach, Florida.
Great, great. So, my sister, it's like changing now for you. I'm going on her right now, dear.
Wait, I'm getting ready. Yeah, I'm bringing her up. Let's see if I can.
It's like working with change in your relationship to the material world right now. Yeah, you like nice things, and you have um, a great ability to attract nice things. But now, at this time, all of us are being forced to change. So it's like you have to look and see where is the change, and how do I use my things? How do I use my affluence, and how do I use my resources to be of service to humanity? This is the question now, and it is how can I benefit my family, and how can I govern myself even more ingeniously, and how can I surrender to the revolution that is happening in my being and in my consciousness that is needed to be in harmony with my purpose in life. Some people say career, but my purpose and my mission, this is bringing it out for you right now. And this is your time to um, move into a deeper state of receptivity meditation. And this is where the guidance will get clearer and clearer for you, because you are, is that a picture of her there?
Yeah, that's Amanda. She came here, and she would come to the House of Reawakening Mind. She came up from Florida and stayed up, think, in the Philadelphia area for a couple months to take Brother Abdullah's etymology class, and she'd come to House of Reawakening Minds for our Friday classes. So yes.
Right, right. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's the thing about resources and
She's saying
nice.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's the thing about the resources and how to manipulate them now and use them. So things change. You had a vision of how you wanted to do things, and now, you know, the world situation has interrupt that. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing for you. It's just a shift that needs to take place, a revolution in you, and that's going to affect the people around you, your relations. But if you be true to this revolution that's happening, to change in you, uh, then, in other words, uh, dropping past habits and patterns of safety and security, and having enough faith to walk into the unknown, knowing that it will benefit you. You don't have to have all the facts and figures and proof. Just tune in your meditation, dear. Bliss to you, dear.
All right. All right. You get it. Here's another one, and she's put it up a couple of. This is Baby Doll, and she is three. She's a young one. 3/20/2003, 10:30
Mm-hmm.
a.m. Killeen, Texas.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. Um, did you, so you're out of the fire now. So you just had an experience of some fireworks, huh? And the things got heated and fiery, and it's showing you that uh, when this happens, when things happen that you don't like to happen, and it brings up anger, or someone angry is coming, then you realize that, wow, this is something that I must release in me. This is something that I'm holding on to. Beautiful, beloved, no one could come to you and make you a victim. You see, basically, we choose people and we call them in their life, and there's something in us that we desire about that person, and sometimes we can our desires can be so strong with what we see we like in them, that we're projecting our ideals on them, and then as soon as they get under pressure, the truth comes out, and then that creates a type of conflict. So what I'm saying to you is that allow yourself to enter into the water character of your being, and be like, learn the power of non-resistance, the power of surrender, the power of melting and merging. That is a power in itself. We're so used to using the yang energy of expressing and and making ourselves felt, but that's pretty limited. And as we get deeper, we begin to see that as we move into the yin energy, then we're able to move energy from inside out there. Baby doll.
All right.
80.
Let me give you some comments, though. Let me give you some. There's some comments that have come back from the previous readings that you just did. Let me see. Oh, well, Amanda Siegel says. Let me get back to the thank you, brother. Where did I see that? He said the brother that you just Dwight Phillips. Yes, brother Tuere Cheka. Thank you for my reading. It gives me understanding in this mission. So yeah, you see, they are responding. Let me put up.
Very good.
Here's somebody. Well, here's somebody. Bishop Good, 2578, Gaffney, South Carolina at 7:20. And I don't know whether it's AM or PM because it doesn't say.
Okay, very good. All right. So the business deal, the financial prosperity and success is coming for you next year. See, is what you do now, what you build toward that now. So it's about getting all of your foundation strong right now. And really the most important thing is the people that you're working with, that they be of the same integrity and compassion for others as yourself. If you got, you want to be able to trust all the people that you're working with, and you want to be able to have a social unicity, that is impeccably strong and love and loyalty to each other. And so then when, as you move into 2021, you'll see the physical and the financial results of this unity and your mission, brother Bishop Goody.
Good. All right. Thank you. We're going to move to the next person. I'm just going to go down the line. Joanna Heath, November 9th, 1979. And it says 1900. I don't know. Is that 2 p.m.? Is that 2 p.m. Houston, Texas? Is that military time? It's military time.
That's 8. That's 8.
Is that
8 o'clock.
Oh, I thought that was 2.
Oh, 1900?
No, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. rather, right? Is that 8? It's 24 hours in a day, so it's 5 hours. It's 4. What is that? 5 hours before the next day. So
all right. Let me bring her chart. I want to bring her chart up here because let's see, close that one. And
it's like 7 p.m. I think, Houston, Texas.
Okay. New chart. And okay, one of the things I can't see. Okay, give me her information again, because when I bring my chart up, it's covering her information. Yeah.
November 9th, 19.
And her name is
Joeanna Heath, Heath.
Okay, got it.
7 p.m. Houston, Texas.
And the date, the birth date is what?
11/9/79.
And the time is 8 o'clock.
7. I think it's 7. 7.
Okay, and Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Oh, you got a crowd in Houston, huh? All right. So here we go. Ooh, yeah. So you got an ingenious mind too. Wow. You were born with Uranus and the Sun conjunct together in Scorpio. That is some powerful energy there in a square to Mars. Ooh, electricity. Sister, you are electric. I know people have been saying that about you. Even though, oh, and the moon is in its own sign, Cancer, when you were born. That's really beautiful. And the Sun conjunct Uranus, and Mercury and Venus conjunct in Sagittarius, squaring Jupiter in Virgo. All right, what does it all mean? Well, you love to teach and you love to communicate because you're always getting ideas from the deep. But don't underestimate. Your mind is powerful. Yeah, you love that mind, and that mind bring you money. That communication brings money. But do not underestimate that Cancer moon to um, bring forth information from the deep and the hidden within yourself and others. That Cancer moon is so powerful. Uh, it's really in a relationship with squaring Pluto and Libra, trining the Sun. So it's about uh, oh wow. So matter of fact, just over the last couple of days, your Cancer moon was really lit up with the new moon. The new moon was right at 28 degrees, exactly the degree of your Cancer moon. So that was the lesson right there, dear, um, of feeling. It's like stepping into a jacuzzi, Joe. It's like stepping into a jacuzzi. What do? You totally open up and merge and relax. A new word came to me. It's called smearing. They said smear yourself. Smear yourself. What does that mean? When you smear something, that means you deformalize it. That means you get out of the personal. That means you take the tension off of the person and get deeper into the energy of your being. See this energy. Trust that. um, you have a strong mind and a very critical and analytical nature, which is good. That helps you to pay attention to the great details and everything. However, the analytical nature sometimes can get in the way of relationships if it's too if it goes too far and becomes too condemning. And then again, you're able to pull into this masculine energy like Supergirl out of a phone booth, which has a right time for that, see? And so timing is everything. Many bliss experiences on your journey of reawakening to your power. This next month, uh, the middle of the month of August is going to be test you where your ability to master anger is, and you're going to feel this powerful um, masculine energy rise up in you, and men and people with strong masculine energy and anger will confront you. And don't think it is something personal trying to, put you down. No, it's where your tests are right now on the planet is um, mastering the animal passionate spirit and and um, and expressing um, anger and rage in yourself and others into a creative transmutation of meaningful experience. I hope that was of some help for you, dear.
Thank you. Okay. I'll just click on another one.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. Kayla Bosch says they're newbie first October 1st, 1988 at 10:01 a.m. in Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Smoking. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Very good. Very good. So, relationships are very meaningful. However, self-love is the prerequisite to the harmony in the relationship, self-love. And you being beckoned now by all the signs around you to intensify and refine your love for yourself, for nurturing on the deepest level. What do I mean by that? By your, you know, continuing to up level your diet and to live it, what you eat on a physical level, what you eat on a mental level, and what you eat on an emotional level. So you can say there's a detox happening in you, and all you have to do is surrender to it and allow that detox to remove the obstacles out of the way. You are very sensitive to the needs of others. However, um, saving someone else and not saving yourself is counterproductive. So I'm uh, admonishing more self-love. Look in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say it. Carla, you are beautiful. You are love. You
Taylor.
are, yes, yes, yes. So now this takes the state to a higher frequency where we're not looking for validation outside of ourselves to be appreciated for who we are, but there's enough love uh, and empowerment within ourselves, and now we are attracting to us people on higher levels of vibration that admire the um, the state of love for self and others. Any feedback from you?
Well, I mean, let me go down. I don't know whether I sometimes get the comments afterwards. Okay, I have to get the comments sometimes afterwards. Where do I lose? So when I scan down, I'm losing. I'm losing comments. Let me see. Yeah. No, but we can move on to the next one.
Many blessings to you.
Okay, I'll just
my
move to the
sister.
next. Here's one. Talib Bey, September 2nd, 1991, at 10:11 p.m. in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, very good. Yeah,
And you all were going overtime. Look, we are going overtime, but it's okay as long as it's good with you, brother Tuere.
Okay. You got it like that, huh?
Okay.
The ability to let go of the mind. The mind is powerful, and you use it well. And however, it's not the be all end all. And so to be able to enter into that right side of the brain, let the artist flourish more in you. Allow yourself to speak more freestyle in faith and in trust through loving intentions. Yes, you like to express your love in very practical ways, and you like a lot of proof and details, which is good. However, it's the faith side of you that allow that to come out. This faith side of you is the ability to have an intention of love and for the person you're speaking to, and as a rapper, a poet that speaks freestyle, they don't know what they're going to say. See, and you'll begin to develop a deeper relationship with this mystic soul energy in you, and this will ramificate in every area of your life. It's simply faith acting without proof, acting without evidence. There's a time for that, just like there's a time to have the evidence. There's a time to um to once you analyze things, once you analyze and go over a problem, let it go. If you could keep analyzing and going over it, it becomes worry. And we know worry is birthed by fear. So get clear in the ability to strengthen your spiritual muscles of faith. Many, many, many blessings to you, Brother Bay.
Okay, here we go. Jasmine Miller, September 2nd, 1960, Birmingham, United Kingdom, 7:30 a.m.
Okay, let me bring this up. See. Oh. Okay. Jazz. And the birthday again is
9/2/60.
and the time.
7:30 a.m.
Let me get that. Okay. And the place.
Birmingham, UK.
UK.
Yes. She's up late or early or whatever time it is.
Let's see. Okay, let's see here. We got it coming up. Almost there. The UK, far away. Got it. Oh, no, that's. All right. I didn't see Birmingham. I'll just get closest to that. I didn't see it on there. All right. So, yes. You are catharsis in the flesh. What do I mean? That you you got a lot of power, and that power is coming to this world to be used to create a catharsis, a cleansing, a detox. Now I know you are detoxing. I know you got to be detoxing. And matter of fact, if this energy goes to an extreme, it's compulsiveness, where you're too clean. You're afraid of germs and everything like that. But this is a very powerful stellium of planets put together: the Venus North Node of the Moon, the Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto. So there's a lot of power here. And what happens at an early age is one gets some kind of insight in death by having a loss. And it doesn't have to be a physical death of a parent, but someone disappears and one begins to seek deeper meaning in life. So you're here to take consciousness at will and go within. As we were talking earlier, to take consciousness at will and draw the sensory current out of the body and transcend the body. In order for these things to happen, you're on a serious mission here. You could easily be in the medical field here, or in the agriculture, food industry. But this mission here, a healer in the healing art, is really about penetrating into the sickness, the dis-ease within yourself and within others, and bringing it out. There's nothing that should be able to avoid your powerful penetration abilities to get laser beam detail, and ability to get to what's beneath the surface. This is really some powerful energy. Once again, another one, very picky in relationships. With you being this picky, it's best to wait for someone that is on your level, or in the relationships, it'll be like another disappointment of you know, and you are here to serve. See, your power is in expressing humility. The African proverb says that uh, uh, humility is having great power with self-control. So yes, you got a lot of power. It's the self-control that makes it royal, because it's like a saint, seer, sage who's got all this power, but is serving others. It has humility. So and you continually expand in love. You're a great teacher. You can fly off with the anger sometime. I hope you got that under control by now. And let me say this: changes in the home right now, changes in the home have been happening in the home world, and a strong connection with mother figures right now. Bliss to you, Jasmine.
Yeah, she says it's like 3:10 a.m. there in UK in the morning. She's on here right now. I'm gonna put this one up. I'm gonna go over others, because this is here's someone who says,
Okay.
what should I do before I give up this plane? 8186 8 a.m. Cleveland said they're depressed. So I want to.
Okay, and we're gonna kind of get ready to close it out with this now, since we're all right. What should I do before I give up on this plan? That's plan, right?
No, I think they said plane because they're saying they're depressed and they're losing their family. And I think they're talking about checking out. So.
Okay. Okay, very good. Um, it's a very powerful time on the planet, my brother, and
I don't know whether
it's
it's a
going to.
brother, what's it real? Like, I don't know if that's male or female.
I see.
That's a picture of the basketball player. So I don't know whether.
Oh, okay. I thought that was their picture. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is a heavy transformation on the planet, but you can get through this. You're too young to remember Sammy Davis Jr. words, but Sammy Davis Jr. said this: from the time that we're born to the time we enter into the hearse, there's nothing so bad that it can't be worse. And the reason that you can get through this is because you have great faith and resilience. Look what you went through already. Look at the resilience in your life of the phoenix rising out of the ashes. I know your pride has been hurt. I know your the royalty of carrying yourself with your head up. However, the learning process is helping you to have a firsthand experience with the masses of people who are in depression, and the masses of people who are under a situation of loss, and you're going to be able to help these people. And so it appears that you're losing your family. It appears that you're losing parts of who you your identity, who you identify with, but it's all appearance. Don't go with just the appearance, because appearances change. You are a creator made in the image of the creator. You create. So when something happens that we don't like and it has a negative appearance, don't fall into that. Say, this is a blessing in disguise and it will benefit me in the long run. I can't figure out with my mind right now how it's going to come out and be a benefit. But I know that all things work together for the good of those who are love and value love. So, you're welcome to contact me through my Gmail and talk to me personally, because there's some things that we don't really want to bring out on the air, and I'll help you to make some sense out of this, to navigate through it. But because you did make the contact, you found your way to a mystic astrologer at this time, means that a way is being made for clarity and for victory. So keep the faith. Know that, yes, you're not alone. Many people are going through times that are so hard. I could tell you about my story now, what I'm going through with family. So, however, it is to bring out the champion in you. It is to bring out more courage, more faith, because you know one thing that you have going on is you are the example. You exemplify and sometimes dramatize a teaching before the people to see, and everybody's watching you. You're human. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to shed some tears. That's all a part of being human. It's not the moment of what you see a person at. It's what they do at their moments and how they make it through the whole process. So I look forward to you contacting me, and we will rise up into a victorious outcome.
Okay. Listen, here's
Hotel.
another. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Here's another person said they want to say, and this person's birth date is just 12/20/92, and they're born in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm not sure what the time is, but I'm not sure if there's something going on in.
Okay. Okay. This is the last one here.
Okay.
Okay. So your
Time.
2019, that was your
No.
test.
Oh, you're saying, okay.
2019, that was a time that was the pressure went through, and 18 too, and the heavy lessons for you. Did you learn the message from that? Did you get the message about responsibility? Did you get the message about more focus and discipline? Did you get the message about being more grounded? And when I say responsibility, what I'm really talking about is your mission here on the planet, and your ability to, you can't sow wild oats like before. Now it's time for you to uh, uh, get out of OJ10 and begin to perform your mission, which is going to take bringing out the earth energy in you. Fire is strong. The fire is, you've been mastering that fire. But the earth energy is self-government. It's spiritual muscles. It's control over your response. It's letting no one come to you and elicit a response. It's letting no one wrinkle your feathers, because you are in control of your emotions. And this comes from being um, a practitioner of breathing, deep breathing and meditation, because what you it's hard here in Cleveland land. I see that message there.
Mhm.
Okay, I know it's hard. It's hard in many different places. But here's the thing. What we're doing is we are dealing with what comes up, because what comes up is of a purifying uh, gift to us, means that it's showing us what we need to release and get out of our way that's blocking us. And as we get these blockages and impediments out of our way, whether it's a belief system, whether it's an addiction or attachment to a person or a thing, then we get the clarity and the guidance to move to the land or the location that there is peace, and seldom is heard a discouraging word. What I'm saying is that simultaneously on the planet where so many people are in agony and suffering, there are people that are relatively in a space of peace, in a space, yeah, see, and you can get into that space. But what we must do, the real nitty gritty work on the spiritual path, is negating the false. We all have been indoctrinated with ideas and beliefs and habits that keep us creating our own suffering for ourselves. This is manning up to owning our actions and what comes back to us. And so when it comes to family, family not interested in what you say. They holding a vision of you in the past on how you've been operating. Family is watching your actions total. So when to affect your family, you have to be love and compassion and caring and service and not bringing stress and luggage to your family for over one moon cycle. And then you'll start to see one moon cycle, 28 days, you start to, things will get a little better. But you go a year, you'll create a chain reaction in your family. But only you can do it. And you have to uh, do something different to get different results. You can't keep repeating the same patterns. So I hope that you'll take it to heart what I said.
Thank you so much. Listen, I want to say to you, Brother Tuere, you are fantastic, and I know that this has been a cathartic session in that there's been not only have what you've been sharing, we both shared has been helpful to people, but there's a lot of love and assistance that I see in the chat room that's going on as people, as different ones will post what they're going through. Others are reaching out to them, giving them, sound advice or encouragement or saying, hey, how can I help? And that's what it's all about.
That's right.
This is not a gossip show. This is not here to, just talk about, what this person is doing, and that we're not about that. We're trying to help. And I'm grateful that we are helpers one of another. My mama used to say that, the helpers one of another. And I see that happening in the chat room. And although, we're not able to get to everyone, as far as a reading, you can contact Brother Tuere Cheka at his website, www.insight, light.net. You see it right here under his picture where he's at. Please, if you have to go back and look at this, go to the website. There's an email. There's ability to email you there, as well as your other Gmail website. Email, which is one for love to be, or I call it 14. I call it 14 love to be, but I know it stands for one for love to be, at gmail.com. Please contact him. So I'm asking you now, are you doing flash drives on your recordings now instead of CDs? And the reason why I'm asking you is because I purchased a new vehicle. They don't even have CD players in them anymore.
Wow.
Everybody's streaming. I had all my CDs ready, and I couldn't figure out where to put it. And so I went back to the dealership. They said, "Oh, we stopped doing CDs in 2019 altogether." And the Mazda, and I was like, "Dang, what am I?" Because I had a 2017, so I got a 2020 and had no place. So if people get their readings, I'm hoping now that you're doing flash drive.
I'm actually emailing through Dropbox or through Google Drive. I'm actually emailing the reading to them and a copy of their charts. Also would like to add in there that my YouTube site would benefit everyone that's listening. I would like you to come and subscribe so that you can get notified for the weekly planetary weather reports. Just having that, no matter what location you're in, you'll be able to navigate more successfully through the tempest and through so that's where it says subscribe, my YouTube site is Insight Light with Tuere Cheka. So you go there, and I've got a lot of powerful things that I'm putting up that will keep you inspired and motivated and encouraged to make it through some of the hard times. We're going to get through this together. So those of you that I didn't get to, I'm here. It's nothing like getting a full detailed reading we can talk, we can do relationship readings, and we can tune into anybody that you're in a relationship with, whether they're there or not, and how the energy is exchanged to you, and what are the challenges in the relationship, and what are the dates that are going to be most beneficial, and what are the dates that's going to be most challenging, how the energy is working, all these deep level realities that would help in the life of you and your loved ones. So I'm
What about the school? Can
available.
you tell them about the school, the astrology school classes you
Oh
do?
yeah, the classes. Well, you can also get with me on Insight Light, and we can talk to you about the classes I'm doing. Group classes, uh, mystic astrology, as well as individual sessions. Some people prefer the individual classes, and it's just amazing. Just contact me and say you're interested, and I'll tell you when they're happening, and or if it's a personal class, we can design it around a time that's convenient for you. If you're in England or anywhere in the world, because I got the message like you, Doc. To make myself accessible to those in the world, because I know that there are people that I'm here to help, and they're here to help me in different places on the planet. And one of the things that is happening right now is we're beginning to see the oneness of humankind, and that our survival is contingent upon our awareness of everyone, every nation, as well as the mother itself that we move and groove on. Gaia. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what? I'm gonna ask you. Could you just do one favor for me? Because I messed up on this one because I clicked, and she just finally put her information back here. This is my
Excellent.
dear friend. Could you just give a reading? This call her Cheryl or call her Toothless Tiger. But
Okay.
she clicked on way in the beginning and early, but I couldn't get back up to get her information off there. So, and you all
Okay. And give me her birth date.
10/26/58,
What time?
7:09 p.m.
And the place.
Dallas, Texas. And you can call her Cheryl instead of Toothless Tiger if you want to.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Um. All right. October 26, 1958, 7:09 p.m. Very good. Born on a full moon. Very good. I don't know where she got that name Toothless Tiger, because she got some teeth, and she but she she's like a Scorpio Pisces, you see.
uh,
And because she was born with a beautiful stellium of Venus on one side of the sun, Neptune on the other side, Jupiter right there, and she's a powerful psychic herself, and she got powerful intuitive energy going on. And she was born 30 years after Martin Luther King, which creates the Saturn return every 30 years, the same place Martin had it. So she's sort of got the same mission, but in her own way of um, the spiritual work. She's a super spiritual person, a visionary. So her ability to uh, be psychically, empathetically in tune with others, to be able to be a medium and express what's happening deep under the surface within that person. It's there. It can be confusing if you are younger, and if you're not giving it much attention, and it can be overwhelming at times until you begin to surrender and overcome the fears that are related with this. One of the things here is that uh, she has to be able to center her desire nature and not be all over the place, and not try to um, multitask too much, and to be able to focus, intensely and deeply on the issue at hand, that she can bring this great power forth to be able to not only merge with those around her, but to be able to create a metaphoric transformation. So yes, in the typical, or not typical, but the deepest Scorpio energy is to be able to, like a psychic surgeon, to open up and go in and to pull out the sickness. So the opening and the approach sometimes will create pain. The person will feel a little pain, especially if they're in denial or if they're not aware of the cause of the dysfunction or dis-ease. But as it is, brought out, they'll begin to accept it more and more. But yeah, she's the one that reveals the deep mysteries, and she's very she inherited this deep spiritual. I mean, I'm talking about um, she's really off the charts here. I hope she's owning it, and 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 living this, because to have this type of gift, the planetary, um, the message of the language of the heavens when you're born is saying, I came into this world to be a mystic, to be a spiritual teacher, and to have a direct connection with this invisible world and to teach it. I came here, but also I came here realizing that the balance is needed to hold silence and to say nothing at the right time, to teach nothing. See, if you overdo the teaching, you turn away the student. Lastly, there was a, a man, an ignorant man in the marketplace, and there was a very learned scholar, a teacher, and he said, I'm going to go over and help this guy and give him I'm going to teach him some knowledge. And there was a wise sage watching this. And as the man went to teach him knowledge, the ignorant man looked at the man like he was crazy and took off to get out of his face. And as the sage observed this, he walked over to the ignorant man and he showed love and gave that ignorant man some love. The ignorant man was amazed that somebody took the time to care and somebody was totally loving them. So he opened up his heart to the sage and later began to ask for knowledge. So what's the moral of the story? It's your love power that greatly expands beyond knowledge. So never put the knowledge first. The love opens the door for knowledge to be received and achieved. But we're in the age of information, people being bombarded with knowledge. They don't know what is right or wrong sometimes, but the animals, the little children, the plants, all sentient beings are longing for love. Love is the divine. I hope that you are elated and benefited by these words, dear.
Thank you so much. Again, there's so many, there are comments here. They're thanking you. Several have said they just subscribe to your channel.
Yes,
thank you, Brother Cheka. Thank you, Brother Tuere. You'll go back and look at the comments, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you accepting and receiving. To me, this was like a spiritual gathering. This was more of a healing session. A healing. And while we weren't able to do, we knew we weren't going to be able to do everyone as far as a reading, though you have the opportunity now to connect with this brother. You already know him up close and personal. And you know,
see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to learn from him on his channel, as well as get an awesome reading that you're going to get. It's going to be recorded. And it's not like you have to say, well, what did he say? You'll be able to hear it, specifically what he said, and play it back over and over. And you'll be able to mark the milestones. He'll not only go over some things that have already happened, he'll be able to look back at some markers that have already happened that you could confirm or deny, but most of the time it's confirmation, as well as where you are now and where you're going. Am I right? Because I've had reading before. So you look back, you look present, and you look forward. And then there are other things, like you said, if you're looking for synastry as far as relationships and so forth like that, you can get those kinds of things. So please, please, please don't, don't be angry that if you didn't get a reading, but just realize that that we couldn't do everyone, but now you have the opportunity now to
The
get
door
on.
is open. That's right. The welcome position is for you. It's here for you. All you have to do is take advantage of it. And Dr. G,
yes,
you have provided this platform. Oh, beautiful fam, wherever you are, support this sister here that's been doing this for years. See, she's just not popping up starting with this. She's been caring and sharing and lifting people for so long. So bring other people to this beautiful network and her beautiful station, or the type of guests that she have on here. So you got a lifeline with Dr. Gilliam here. So I'm really saying, really support her and the ministry that she is bringing forward as a beacon to help everyone. And so if anyone got any words of inspiration tonight, it is because she created the platform here, and it won't just be me. It will be other remarkable beings that come through that are here to help you to remember that you're remarkable.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much, and each and every one of you. I know it's getting late. Jasmine it's like look 3:30 in the morning, and she's here. So we do appreciate, we do appreciate. Thank you. I don't know, Rain Vocals. Thank you for loving the show. Love you back, and just tell somebody so this can grow and grow. So tell them about Office Hours with Dr. G, about our Friday night more science classes. And remember, this Friday we will have a class with Sister Tamara Ellen and I, and it's going to be a very important show on the misclassification of a people. We have a conversation we need to have about what who we say we are and what others say we are. We got to get on the same page. So, and I appreciate you, Brother Tuere, for accepting the corrections and that I was giving you, and you took on quite well. You melanated man who is now blissing the people.
Light on, sister. Light on.
I gotta work that in there. You see, I work that in. Well, listen, we're gonna go. We thank you so much again. This won't be the last time. You'll be back, and I'll have you back, and I'm gonna post up my little banners because sometimes people know about other people, like I said earlier on, that might make a good guest on the show. And so that's how we're going to go out. I want to put up for a brief minute. I want people to remember, and I have to kind of move this banner, but I want people to remember to get in touch with you and get that scheduled. But I also want to know that if there's somebody out there that, possibly can benefit from the show, that you let them know that we're here. Dr. G. Really? Oh shit. Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Oh shit. Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Oh shit. Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me.